Hello, everyone. I hope you had a great Christmas and I hope you will have a fantastic new year in spite of what we are going through in our nation. Welcome to Vlog Media Breeze. As you see, I have the VMB on the screen. That's just Vlog Media Breeze, okay? For those of you who are new here, please, if you would be so kind as to click the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. And also, as we go along, get down in the comments and get over in the chat. Tell me what you think about my commentary. Let me know about your commentary on the topics here at hand. And I will recognize your comments by putting them onto the screen. And I will also drop the link today. If we have time, I will drop the link and have some of you come on. Have a couple of you come on. In dropping the link, I do ask that while you are in the backstage that you show me your face, though. When you get onto the screen, if you want to use your avatar, go right ahead. Before that, I do want to see your face because there are some things going on here with me. There's the same person, they are tracking me online and they think that I don't know. I'm not supposed to say anything else about this, I was told, but I can't help myself because I'm overflowing with anger when I get on here and I see them. And they usually show up, they go away, they show up again, and then they go away. And they are what's preventing they're preventing me from being seen to 1,000 YouTubers. They're the ones they're Satan. They are Satan. They're the devil. They are the hindrance here. And they even go, I just learned this week, I was speaking to a YouTuber about some things I learned about the fact that when they do reach a certain level, they have managers at Google. And those managers talk to each other and they go around when they don't like a particular YouTuber and they talk to those YouTubers about the YouTuber that they dislike or that they have issue with, and they create havoc for that person. So that's what's happening in the Google sphere of things that they think I don't know about. So I digress with that. I am drinking something. It's a rosé, and I don't like it. This is probably the second time I've ever had a rosé. And I don't really like this rosé. I forgot the name of it. I saw it in Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter is now owned by Kroger for a while now. And I don't know about you guys, but here in Charlotte, a lot of our Harris Teeters, they have bars set up. There's a bar in the Harris Teeter, and it's a nice bar. It's cozy. You can, if you are shopping, you can sit there at the bar, have a drink of wine, and they have hors d'oeuvres on Thursdays, some of them, and some of them have the hors d'oeuvres on Friday. And they have little tables that people are socializing inside of the Harris Teeter. So that's what's going on out here, here at the Valentine one anyway, in Charlotte. So I digress on that. I want to, if you're ever in Charlotte, let me tell you, it is very hard to find a good restaurant to eat at in Charlotte. It really is. And if you're ever in Charlotte, even the Del Frisco's is inconsistent. The food is inconsistent. You may go there one time and it's delicious, and the next time you go and you're like, what the heck happened, And Del Frisco's is expensive. And pizza is hard to come by. This is not like New York or some of the northern or New England states, wherein you can go get a good slice of pizza on the side of the street or on any corner restaurant. The pizza here is not good, okay? However, we recently found a delicious place. So if you are ever in Charlotte and you want good pizza, and I pass this place all the time when I'm in that part, because I live on the south side, but the south side is kind of large, and so I don't have to go to this particular area, but sometimes I do. And it's off of Park Road. It's a place called Asteria Luca. It's in a shopping center. They have the best pizza in Charlotte by far. And I have been in Charlotte for going on 13 years now. Before Charlotte, I lived a couple of different places we did. So I just wanted to say that to you. If you're ever in Charlotte and you want a good pizza, Osteria Luca. It's Osteria, Luca, Luca. So I want to talk to you about some of the things that we came here to talk about. These are some of the things we're going to talk about. Okay? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can, but if you can, let's see. I don't know why it's not staying up there. It should stay. If it doesn't, then I'll put it back. This is interesting. Let's see here. This is interesting. And it's really making me upset that this is doing this. Whenever you see it come off the screen like this, that's not me. It's coming off by itself. Or by the hacker who has hacked my system here when I'm on StreamYard. Because it should not be coming off. Let's see here. I can get this to stay. Oh, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to. Okay, let's see here. Okay, well, you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the stories, okay? I got to get rid of something real quickly, though. And I don't know, I can only get rid of it by showing it first, and it's a mess. But anyway, let's see. I have to do it and then get rid of it. I'm sorry, I'm having a problem here. I have to allow it and then not allow it. So there. Oh, wait. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so this is supposed to stay up, but it's not staying. I don't know why it's staying. As you can see, I have Cardi B there. I want to talk to you about Heather. Heather is this person here. Okay. This is interesting. This is not supposed to be happening. At any rate, there is another YouTuber called The Real Andy of Beverly Hills, and he did a story on Heather Gay. Heather Gay is one of the stars in the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and she is a fan favorite. Everyone loves Heather Gay. She used to be a part of the Mormon church in Salt Lake City, and she left the church because she stopped believing in what they were preaching. And I still do not know the specifics about why she left. Because a lot of what she says, to me, are simply restrictions that the church has. And she didn't like those restrictions. Some of the restrictions she named are actually the same restrictions that a lot of other churches have. And here, this is Heather Gay and her brother right here. This is she and her sister. So those are the people we are talking about right now. And the screen keeps leaving. I don't understand that at all. I do not understand that at all, why it keeps leaving. Let me see if I can get some help with this real quickly, you guys. I am sorry. I really have to stop using StreamYard, really. Just give me a moment here. Okay, so I'm going to be talking while I wait on a response. At any rate, so Heather Gay recently met with her sister when they went on the trip to Vail. She met with her sister, and her sister left the Mormon church a long time ago. And just bear with me, you guys, here. Moment here, let me let them know what I'm trying to do. Okay, so Heather Gay recently met with her sister, and she also met with her brother, who her sister left the Mormon church like 20 years ago, somewhere along the lines of those numbers. Her brother just recently left the Mormon church. I think he left after Heather Gay left. So while Heather Gay was in Vail, remember they took the trip to Vail. That was the trip that they were on their way to when they met, whenever Jen Shaw was arrested, that same trip. While she was in Vail, she met with her sister, and she had not seen her sister in years. And if you watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, again, Heather Gay is a fan favorite. People love Heather Gay. So people, and just bear with me. I want to show you guys something here, but I'm trying to get it fixed up. So I'm trying to get my screen fixed up here. So Heather Gay, again, this is Heather Gay, and this is Heather Gay, the blonde. That's her brother. This is her sister. And again, I don't know what's going on here, why I cannot keep this. One moment, I'm sorry, guys. I'm having an issue here because the screen that I keep putting here, this screen here should stay. When you see it disappear, that's not me taking it down. It's coming down on its own. And I want it to stay, and it's not. So that's just odd. I don't know what to do to make that happen. You know what? Maybe I should do this. Try to add it here. Let me try to do this, and maybe it will stay. So Heather Gay met up with her sister while she was in Vail. She had not seen her sister in years. Let's see if this works here. That does work, but it's only showing the background. It's not showing everything else that I need it to show. So I'm going to remove it. Oh, well. It's just interesting how it doesn't do that. But because she is a fan favorite, one moment here. best. And show the video. Okay. Let me get out of this. I'm sorry, guys. I really am having an issue here, so I needed to get out of that. Because she's a fan favorite, people thought she was being really genuine when she met up with her sister and also when she met up with her brother. If you go over to the YouTuber's channel, The Real Andy of Beverly Hills, he has a letter because he has connections and with producers and even some of the stars of these shows, which I do not have, and they reach out to him often. And he has a letter that someone wrote to him. He will not say the name. It is a relative or a person in the church there in Salt Lake City, and they are saying that with Heather Gay and her sister, that meeting that we witnessed that they had was a fake. It was a fake meeting, and that Heather was not sincere. And I'm paraphrasing here, and this is all allegedly. They said that she did it all for the show to use her brother and her sister as a storyline. And the person who wrote Andy the letter even said that Heather and her sister were yelling and screaming, like elevated, before they even aired the scenes that were finally edited into the show. That they sat there for like 2.5 hours and they were yelling and screaming, they were arguing, they were not in agreement. And finally, production was able to, I guess, calm them down and edit in a conversation, and that's the conversation that we all got to see on that show, which was, I think, was the third one. It may have been the third show, I think it was. It's the one whenever they arrested Jen. No, the one after Jen, maybe the fourth show, actually. Or fifth, who knows? I do not like this rosé at all. And this isn't even worth it because it's only 13% alcohol. And my Chardonnays always have like 18%. And this is just like it's not even good. It's not even good at all. And it costs more than my Chardonnay, my Kendall Jackson. I digress on that. So I just wanted to share that with you about Heather Gay. And I wanted to show the video to you or show some clips and show some other information, but I'm having a problem here. I'm going to have to use someone other than StreamYard. I'm going to have to with my website, I'll be able to use my own when we get that developed. But while I'm doing this YouTube thing, because eventually I'm going to come off of YouTube. And it's not even worth me mentioning because look at what they're doing to me. I literally have 0 viewers right now, literally. And that is them working the algorithm against me because just last week, I documented another complaint against Google. I documented another complaint to the Department of Justice. And this is their retaliation. They're like, I'm sitting here, so I'm still talking because sometimes people come in on the after show, after the live. And so for those who come in after the live, this video will be here. All the videos will be here until I take them all down because I plan to do that. But the next thing I wanted to talk to you about has to do with, let's see what we're going to talk about next. This is the other thing. Heather Gay's brother, his hair, I don't know what was going on in that scene with him last week, but the hair was oily, sweaty. I don't know. He was very sweaty looking. But in this picture, as we can see, he's not. He looks clean cut and everything. I know Heather Gay is a fan favorite. I don't get that. I think that people are not, I think people believe everything they see and hear nowadays. My perception is she comes off kind of fake. I don't think that she really is. I think she's doing things real. Now that I have looked at the real Andy of Beverly Hills to see what he had to say about her, I believe all of that because that's how I've been thinking the whole time. Now, I like her, and I like her personality. But when you see people leave a church to do abominable things in the sight of the Lord, because that's what she's doing. If you remember when the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's first season, they had an event at a bar in Salt Lake City, and there was a trucker or someone who came into the bar that she had never met. She was having a conversation with him and offered to go out to the truck with him to get it on. And I was like, that's what you left the Mormon church for? Please go back. Go back to the Mormon church, Heather Gay. Because even if you are going to leave your church, you need to have some biblical grounds for leaving your church, right? There needs to be a biblical reason, meaning that the church itself needs to be so pathetically hypocritical that you can't take it and you're looking for something as close to the scriptures as you can get. But when you decide that you're going to leave your church because you want to be out here involved in all kinds of harlotry and, meeting people in bars so you can get in the truck with them and get it on, and so you can drink all you want and have your cleavage hanging out a mile long, you are the worst. You are the worst. And oftentimes we meet people and they will give us their best shot, right? They will give us whatever it is. They will be soft. They will talk nicely and intelligently. But their belief system is very misconstrued. It's messed up. And the things they do. Another person who does that is Tasha K. I went in her comments recently because she's over there saying that people are born gay, which is what most of the world believes, right? I understand that most of the world believes that. That is not coherent with the scriptures. And the reason I got in her comments is because if you're going to say that's what you think, that's one thing. But if you're going to say that's what you think and try to say that God is in agreement with you, that's another. That's a whole another deal. He is not in agreement with that. He didn't create us that way. He created us to be heterosexual so that we could produce fruit, children, and raise those children according to his will. He wants the whole earth to be filled with his glory. And those people, there will be none of that in the kingdom, you guys. And I know that's a hard lesson, but it's a true lesson. So I digress because that's not what I came on here to talk to you about. I'm just saying that it's one thing whenever you say you've left the church for, the church's hypocrisy. But it's another whole thing when you say that you have left and it's just because you want to be involved in everything that is opposite of the scriptures. And that is what Heather Gay gives me. She gives me, listen, I want to be out here. I want to be philandering around and doing whatever it is I want to do. I don't want to have to abide by any scriptures. That's what she gives me. Now, her brother made a really good point because one of the leaders at that church or of the Mormon church is for lack of a better word, the I don't know if you can say that, but he messes with young children. He's a grown man who was married to a 14-year-old. So things like that should not be happening in the church. That should not be happening. No one should have let that happen. And he is a leader of the Mormon church. That is per her brother. And so everything I'm saying is allegedly. I have not been a part of the Mormon church. I know the Osmonds used to do commercials about it a long time ago, I think back in the early 80s. And sometimes people think that if they go to the strictest church, then they are in the right church. It is very important to read our scriptures so that whenever we're sitting in that pew and we are listening to the person behind the podium who is talking to us and encouraging us in the scriptures, we need to make sure that that person is giving us right information. And if not, it's time, you need to find a church that does. And you can even have a conversation with the person behind the podium. Back it up with scriptures, of course. Try to sit down and reason together with the scriptures as opposed to debate about them. But Heather Gay, like I said, I like her personality overall. And I think she is genuine. At the same time, I think that she has gone from one extreme to the other. And that's not good. That's just not good. And so that is why I believe the letter that the real Andy of Beverly Hills was reading. So who are we going to talk about next? So the next person we're going to talk about real briefly is Wendy Williams. And I cannot really share the screen with you about her, but as you can see, here is her. Oh, sorry. Here is her. Here she is. This was just the other day, just this week, this photo that we're looking at. This is interesting. I don't know why that photo will not stay up there, but it will not. I'm trying to get it to stay, and I don't know why. Maybe it has to do with the way that I downloaded it, but I'm so upset right now. But this is Wendy Williams, and so Wendy Williams, you guys, Wendy Williams and I are the same age. She's probably just a couple of months younger than I am. I remember when she was on the radio, but I did not know her the whole time she was on the radio. I lived in Atlanta, and there was Frank Ski, the Frank Ski morning show in Atlanta. I used to listen to it on the way to work. And he is the one who first brought up the name Wendy Williams to me. And he brought it up because of the Whitney Houston and Wendy Williams beef that was happening at the time. And so he played a clip of that beef on his radio station and talked about it. So that was part of his morning talk show conversation. I don't know if you've been to Atlanta, but Frank Ski used to be the one, okay? He was the very best radio DJ ever. He was creative, he was interesting, he was smart, he always had something to bring to the audience, and he was very giving. He was very charitable in the Atlanta community, and he loved to take people on trips. I always wanted to go on one of those trips, but I could never go because of work. But a lot of people went on the radio trips with him to South Africa, to someplace in Brazil, and he would show the pictures, and people would come back and talk about it, and it was a really good thing. So when he left the station, I was heartbroken. I was so heartbroken. And then after I moved to Charlotte, someone said he was back on the station. And sometimes when you do that, if you have to go backwards, you guys, I'm going to tell you this. When you have moved on to a place in your life, whether you want to move on or not, like we did not want to move to Charlotte. We had to move to Charlotte. We didn't want to. We loved Atlanta. I was plotting my mausoleum in Atlanta. That's what I was doing. I was Atlanta bound. I was never, ever going to leave Atlanta, Georgia. And we lived in Cobb County. I loved it. My son, our children went to Walker, and it was just, we had some issues at Walker. I'm going to tell you that, but I digress. But it was just a really good time in my life. So we didn't want to move. We had to move. So we moved because of a job, and we got to Charlotte. And in my mind, I always wanted to go back to Atlanta, but I knew that we would never go back because there was something about the move wherein God had put in my spirit to let me know that that was a done deal, that I had already passed that point in my life. I was there, we lived, and it was time to just be here. And that happened in other cities that we moved from as well. So we've been here 13 years. And I'm saying that to say that when Frank Ski left the radio station, and I don't know where he went. I think I read recently that he had gone to Maryland and came back. But when you have to go back to a place, that is not a good thing. I don't care how good it was to you. After you have moved on, it is a good thing not to go back. Because look at what happened to him and Wanda. I don't know if they are on good terms now, but before he left, Frank, Wanda, Tara, they were great friends. And Wanda and Frank were like the best friends. They were really good. There was another DJ there in Atlanta, Ryan, I can't remember his name, but my spirit always believed that Ryan was jealous of Frank Ski because Frank Ski had a lot of clout, his numbers were high, everything, he was jealous. And they had an open forum of a debate where Ryan said some things to Frank Ski that I just did not like. I didn't like. It made me think, okay, this dude has no class, right? And soon as Frank left, guess who was in Frank's seat? Ryan Cameron. That's jealousy. I don't care how you put it. I know they are friends now and they talk, but that's jealousy. The reason he was hurling all of those negative messages out there about Frank Ski whenever he was over there at 92 FM in Atlanta was because he was jealous of Frank. He wanted to be where Frank was. And as soon as Frank left, soon as things went bad between him and the station, I don't know that they went bad, but they had a disagreement. And as soon as Frank left, there was Ryan Cameron over there at V103. So I just always thought Frank should not have gone back to V103. And I think he's back there now, or maybe not. I don't know. But it's just whenever you've moved on, it's time to just move on. And I know I went off on a tangent with this, but I was just sharing with you how I first learned about Wendy Williams. It was back in the days of Frank Ski in Atlanta. And he had been talking about Wendy and a beef she was having with Whitney Houston. And then at one point she was having a beef with P. Diddy. And so it was through him. And I didn't even know what she looked like. But what happened is there was a Harlem Renaissance Festival that we attended. And it's amazing. Sometimes you'll be thinking about something or someone you've never known or anything like that. And suddenly they will appear. And you're like, oh, that's who that person is. That's what happened. We were at I think it was called the Harlem Renaissance Festival, where they have just all these delicacies of food and tables out and forums and people like that. Well, Wendy Williams was there because she had just wrote her book, her first book. And I saw her from a distance. And I thought she had a very pretty face, actually. Looked like she had good hair and a good face, and she was tall. But you could tell she was the kind of person you could look at and you could tell that eventually she was going to be big, because there was something about her presence that was, her presence was just, there was something about her presence that just, you would look at her and think, oh, she's a big deal. out of all the other authors that were there on that stage with her. So that was how I came to know Wendy. And I wanted to give you that history because just so you'll know that I like her, but I'm very sad. I'm very sad whenever I see her looking like this. I'm going to try to show this again. It may not stay up. When I see her going through this, this is not the Wendy that I saw at the Harlem Renaissance Festival. And granted, she was a much younger woman then. But yeah, I'm going to tell you, when you are in love with your husband for years and you have put a lot at stake in your marriage in terms of your heart and other things you've done, you know, moments you've shared, and the things that you've built and partnered, the good times, the bad times, you cannot leave a 20-year marriage unscathed. You cannot leave it unscathed. And the fact that Kevin is able to do that, to me, says he's just another man who's a sociopath. He's another sociopathic thinking person out here. Even to allow that woman, the adulterer that he is with now, to drive up to the home of his wife, because Wendy said at one point, you know, Wendy had driven to where they lived, and I don't know what her purpose was, but she drove there, and the girl was home, and Wendy drove back to her house. Well, when Wendy got in her house, the girl drove up to Wendy's house and drove in the driveway and did something. And I'm like, you know, the nerve of these hoes, the nerve of these adulterous hoes like that girl, and also like Ariane. Are you kidding? You are great. Listen, that's playing with God. That's like thinking that you are bigger than God, and that is you playing with God. I see some of you here. Get in the comments. Tell me what you think about some of these things. I'm going to try to get off here shortly, but I just wanted to show you a picture real briefly about Wendy Williams. I know that page 6 is saying that Wendy Williams was spotted in New York after a Miami Wellness Center visit. So I guess she's going back and forth from Miami to New York, and so on and so forth. They go on to say New York City agrees with Wendy Williams. The daytime talk show host was all smiles while being photographed back in New York City on Tuesday, that's this past Tuesday, after visiting a wellness center in Miami. She was wearing her beloved oversized black boots, a fur coat, and a Hermes bag as she was assisted into an SUV by her driver. Accompanying her on her outing to what appears to be the Upper East Side was her son, Kevin Hunter. It's unclear what she and her son were up to while out and about in the Big Apple. Even though Williams, 57, is back in New York, it has already been announced that she would not return to her eponymous talk show host in the new year because of her ongoing health issues stemming from Graves' disease and other undisclosed maladies. So they're saying other undisclosed reasons, right? So she's not out just for Graves' disease. There are other things going on that are not going to be disclosed, but we can just be willing to bet that it's painful seeing the man that you love out with someone else. And this has to be public. It's not like the rest of us. If some of us were going through this, we're not famous, so we wouldn't have to see that in the news. She's having to see it in the news and in entertainment and on social media. It goes on to say the Wendy Williams show will continue to feature guest hosts in early 2022. That Joe and Remy Ma will take over when the show returns January 10th, while Michael Rappaport, I cannot stand Michael Rappaport. I don't like that dude at all. While he will return to host the daytime talk show after that. It also goes on to say the duo of comedians Kim Whitley and Vanessa Mitchell will then take over hosting duties. So they're going to bring on Kim Whitley and Vanessa Mitchell, okay? And fan favorite Sherry Shepherd will close out the month. So that's in January. So they're going to have Remy Ma and Fat Joe. I guess that'll be, the week of January 10th. Then Michael Rappaport will be on the week after that. And then they are going to have Kim Whitley and Vanessa Mitchell after that. And then last, they're going to have Sherry Shepherd at the end of January. And then it goes on to say, even if she did come back, she would be a lame duck because her show is not renewed beyond this season. So that's page 6. And this is page 6. Her show is not renewed beyond this season. This is the December 29th, 2021, 9:10 a.m. Page 6. You can Google that. It's by an author called Francesca Baccardi. I've seen other articles by her as well. It says the guest host announcement came amid rumors that Wendy Williams has no plans to return to the show as she continues to battle various health problems. The Ask Wendy author had been staying quiet about her well-being until she told a paparazzi outside the Miami Wellness Center that she was doing fabulous. So sad story, you guys. That's a sad story. So Dana, you're saying here, I think it's sad to see Wendy going through. Yeah, listen, this is not easy. And some people get divorced. And I heard someone when Barbara Walters was still on The View. There was some woman who was married to a famous guy, and she was a friend of Barbara Walters, and Barbara Walters had not seen her in like over a year. And she came on to the show and said that she had been, after her divorce, she couldn't even get out of bed. She had been in bed over a year. She had been in bed in her pajamas for over a year, you guys. So I'm just real, I definitely am going to be praying for Wendy, and I hope she can get through all of this. But we're going to go ahead and move on because my time is running out, and I have another, some other information that I just wanted to put out there for you. And I'm going to go over it real quickly before I do the Cardi B part, okay? This is R. Kelly before, and this is him, of course, when he is, I keep putting this up here because it keeps going down. This is him before and after. That's in the orange, of course. We know what the orange stands for. That's interesting. This person should be gone, but they're still here. Guys, I'm going to share something with you. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Never believe the devil. This person just came into my chat. I saw them when they came on, and then they sent this, right? So they sent this, okay? And then just left. My chat is back down to 0 now. As soon as I put that on the screen, they left. Just a whole interesting process for me. I don't know why I'm drinking this rosé. I'm drinking it because I'm trying to get rid of it. I don't like to waste wine. So I just wanted to briefly say, R. Kelly, let's kind of transition into this. R. Kelly has, in October, he was sentenced. He was found guilty and has been put in jail for having young women in his home, his studio. They are accusing him of all kinds of things. The RICO, which is racketeering. I forgot what the I stands for, something organization. But it's the RICO. They've accused him of that, which has a lot to do with racketeering. They've accused him of the seduction of young women and the abuse of young women in his home. And you guys, I'm going to tell you, when these W's, and I'm going to call them W's, get involved, they have such small D's. They really do. They got small D's. And what they want to do is bring down every Black person. Their whole goal is to degrade Black people. When you look at Hugh Hefner and the things that he did, Hugh Hefner was no different than R. Kelly. Hugh Hefner had young women in his home who spent the night. They were dressed very, like with nothing, almost to nakedness. And he would invite other Hollywood types to his home to get down with those women. So he, in my opinion, is no different than R. Kelly, yet the W men in America praised Hugh Hefner. They praised him. Now, I don't agree with Hugh Hefner or R. Kelly. I'm only bringing this up to say that the way they are treating R. Kelly is very different than what the FBI was not going after Hugh Hefner. I hate it whenever I see people, like I was over on the lead attorney's channel one time, and people were just praising the FBI. Oh, if they get you, they got you. Whoa, whoa. Please stop praising them. They are racist like anyone else. And if they see a white person doing something and a Black person doing something, they're going to hone in on that Black person. That's just what they do. They're going to hone in on that Black person, and they're going to start setting them up and watching them. It is not a good thing to be sitting around watching people for years, trying to set them up for something that you know they're not going to do or they haven't done. But that's what they get paid to do. I don't honor them. I don't think there's anything that great about them. They're supposed to be reducing crime. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be sitting up here being racist about who you are going to have an indictment against. Hugh Hefner never did a day's time. They praised him, they interviewed him in the press, and they just thought he was the best thing since sliced bread because he had a bunch of naked women in a magazine. And that was okay with them. Playboy Bunny of the Year. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then you have people like this idiot, Kevin Samuels, over there on his channel, degrading us as Black women. We are not the least of all the women in the world. Do not believe him. He is the devil. He's a liar. Like I told you last week, maybe his mother, his grandmother, his aunts, his sisters, if he has any, maybe the women in his community, maybe those people are the least of the women in the world. But the rest of us out here, I'm not the least. I am not the least of any other woman in this world. And how dare he? You guys need to go over to the channel. I think it's called PBM Veggies and something. I forgot what it is. It's, oh my gosh, what is it? PBM, I'm gonna see if I can find it here. PBM Vegetables and Junk. P as in Papa, B as in Bear, M as in Mike PBM Vegetables and Junk Food. He goes, look at every video he has on Kevin Samuels. You can call Bloomingdale's in Atlanta. I call Bloomingdale's. They know Kevin Samuels. So they corroborated the story that PBM Vegetables and Junk Food is telling about Kevin Samuels. But YouTube doesn't want you talking about people like Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels brings in a lot of money for them. He brings in money putting down Black women. Go floss and brush, Kevin. Take a bath because you look like you put on a suit and you don't bathe. Sitting around like you know everything. Who are the people who used you as an image consultant? Kevin Samuels, who used you as an image consultant. Please put those people in your description box or put them in your YouTube, the about section where it says about. Put them there so that people can go see, hey, what did Kevin Samuels do for you? So I digress on that. That was the point I wanted to make about R. Kelly. I spent too much time earlier trying to make this thing work here. The last person we're going to talk about is Cardi B, which isn't much. It isn't much. I'm going to read it to you here. Soon as I find it. I'm just going to tell you about it, actually. There's something going on with her. Listen, don't mess with Cardi B, okay? If you do nothing else, Cardi B is not the one that you should mess with. She has recently, and they need to be filing charges against someone else who is over there on that Twitter messing with her. They are sending her D-pics. And they're doing it, and this is allegedly, they're doing it and somehow attaching it to her dad. And so don't mess with Cardi B. Cardi B said, you know what she said about Tasha K? She said, other people, famous people can take that mess, but she's not going to take it. So that's why they're going to court, I think January the 8th, which is next week or week after next. I don't know why men want to get in someone else's DMs and send them a picture of your privates. Keep those things in your pants. Don't be out here showing that to everybody. But that's what's happening to Cardi B. So she's documented a complaint against them. I don't know. Whenever they wrote it in, I don't know if it was the Jasmine brand. I think it was. Let me see here. I think it was the Jasmine brand that reported that. You can go over to the Jasmine brand and get that information. Let me see here. I want to read it to you. It's thejasminebrand.com. And it said the title is Cardi B reveals she's being harassed by someone on Twitter. The article is by Twyla Amore McDaniel, and that's actually an article that was written today, December the 30th. It says Cardi B is standing her ground after being constantly harassed by someone on Twitter. Cardi B, born Belcalis Almanzar, is doing what she can to protect herself against cyberbullying and harassment, as we all should be. I'm being cyberbullied. Someone took my photo, they put it over on BitChute, and they're saying that I'm some girl named Danny. I am not anyone named Danny. If I was Danny, I would tell you I'm Danny. So that's a stupid person who did that. That is the devil. Recently, it goes on to say, recently the 29-year-old rapper shared that she's gathered over 50 tweets from someone online who has been sending her concerning comments. she added that her harasser shared images of her private portions online. I'm sorry, of his private portions online, and made a fake Instagram account pretending to be her father. And she's smart because she went ahead and she did snippets. Like, here's his picture right here. And she wrote to him, she says, because he tried to take them down whenever he learned that she discovered him. And she wrote, "Too late. I already gathered about 52 tweets in my name, with my name, including almost every day he quote my tweets. That fake IG he made of my dad using my father's Facebook pictures, and also the picture he posted of his small private part, she called him small, private part on Twitter while having minors follow him." Oh, goodness. And she's reported this, guys, and she said that he had minors, younger people not of age, follow him. So she has contacted Twitter about him, as well she should. Listen, you can't blame this young lady. Defamation of character is a big thing, and especially when you're in an industry like what she is in, the music industry and Hollywood, and people are trying to defame your name. That's a big deal. That is why we have to be careful as YouTubers what we say about other people. So it's showing I've been on here 1 hour. I was trying to do 45 minutes, so I am 15 minutes over. And so it looks like I got one comment, right? And it's the same people. You think that I don't know that you're the same people who come over here all the time and you use different names? I'm going to call you out every time because I see you and you think that I don't. And I know that you're the one trying to track me on YouTube, you little asshole. You are Satan. You're the devil. You're satanic. Anyone who does things like what you're doing to me, I see you up there. Now, every time I come in, you're the first one to come over here. And then you go out, come back in with a different name, and then you come over here and you get in my comments. Your mother raised a loser. That's what you are. You are a loser. Look at you. Standing there. You are a complete and utter loser. You are Satan. You're everything that the Bible says that people should not be around. You go around trying to do things to people that they don't deserve. But I got you. You think that you're not going to get it? You're about to get it real bad. So I digress on that. I'm going to go ahead, get on out of here, finish drinking this bad rosé that I got from Harris Teeter. And I just want to thank everyone who is a subscriber. It's unfortunate that this person who is on here now is keeping other people from coming over here to view my video. That's why I don't have over 1,000. I should by now have over 1,000 people, period, on my video. And then they go over and they prance around to other YouTubers that they see that I am subscribed to. I unsubscribed from all of those YouTubers this week. I unsubscribed because they see this person here who's here now sees everything that I do, and they are trying to keep me from being on YouTube because they are a racist and they are the devil. And that's just who they are. But to other subscribers, if you come on here after the fact, I want to thank you for being a subscriber. Please come back and also click the like button. Write in the comments whatever you think about the topic without attacking me personally, because I will block you if you attack me personally. I know that a lot of YouTubers say, oh, let anyone come on, just don't block, don't do this. No, if you attack me personally, or if I get that you're doing something personal against me, I'm going to block you. I don't want you over here. Go do somebody else, for real. And most of the time, it's that person who's making up the names. So I end up blocking that person, but they can come back anyway because they use fake names to come over here. And I know that they do because when I go to block them, it doesn't allow me to block them. So it's StreamYard and YouTube, or Google now, because YouTube is owned by Google. So don't trust Google. Remember to feed your spirit, feed your ethos, or take heed to your spirit is basically what I'm saying. And you should feed it good things like scriptural knowledge and godly things. And take heed to your spirit to make sure that you are in accordance with not doing what's being done to me on YouTube, because that right there is a psychopath. But make sure that you are doing good things and good things in the community. And I wish you much peace, love, and blessings. Have a great new year. I will not see you until after the new year.